Over the last two games, Rangers starters have given Ron Washington more than he could have hoped for. Sunday, Matt Harrison allowed only 2 hits as he dominated the Blue Jays. Last night, Ryan Dempster showed why he was one of the most sought-after pitchers at the trade deadline. Tonight, it's Scott Feldman's turn to take the hill as he tries to regain the form that made him the Rangers Player of the Month for July. It's the Rangers and the Orioles coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. Under beautiful powder blue skies and very mild temperatures here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, the Texas Rangers look to make it 2 in a row in the middle game of this 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles. And welcome in, everyone. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad to have you along this evening. It's Tuesday night of Rangers baseball, and tonight, a guy going for the Rangers is Scott Feldman, who's looking like the Scott Feldman of 2009 when he was a 17-game winner.
I would agree with you on that, Buzz. I think he's been as consistent as any Ranger pitcher over his last 7 or 8 starts. He's been throwing the ball great, got his sinker working well, his cutter's working well. You look what he's done in his last 9 games, 8 starts, 6-2 record. His ERA is 3.38. He's only walked 8 and he struck out 35. 4 of those walks came in his last start, where he pitched pretty well. He lost to the Yankees, but he only gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. He's throwing the ball well, and you feel really good about your chances every time he's on the mound.
Yeah, and you'd love to see him go out there tonight and do the same kind of thing, get the ball in the strike zone, and he's going to have a lot of help tonight, as David Murphy and the rest of the ball club have shown. The offense is back to where they want it to be. We'll be back with Game 2, the starting lineups, and the first pitch coming up for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Your Texas Ford dealer. Head to your Texas Ford dealer for the summer sales event and enjoy some of the greatest deals of the season. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Before we get to the lineups this evening, let's send it down to Emily Jones and check in with her. Emily?
Well, it is late August, and we are just about 75% done with the regular season. However, Ian Kinsler says not quite time to start the scoreboard watching just yet.
I think it's still a little bit too early for that. You know, we still have a long way to go. I mean, we got to finish this month, and we got a whole another month after this. So, you know, every year it seems like we say we're not watching the standings coming down to the end of the season, but we really are. And right now, I don't think we really are. So, maybe this year when we start watching, we'll let you know.
So it's good to know that he's going to at least fill us in this year for those who aren't paying attention, which I think the guys may be the only ones that aren't, even though I still believe they are. The Rangers 6.5 games up on the A's and 9 games up on the Athletics, or on the Angels, rather, in the American League West. Guys, you buying it?
No, Emily, I'm not. As long as those guys are illiterate, and I know every one of them can read, they're going to look at the scoreboard every once in a while. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that Ian is not telling the truth. I just don't think he's telling you all of it.
Yeah, maybe he means he knows what the standings are, but he's not focused on it, and he's not losing any sleep over it. Yeah. But, yeah, because I think the guys love to watch the highlight shows at night. Sure. And when you watch the highlight shows, they pretty much tell you what the standings are. So you may not read it, but you got to hear it somewhere.
I would think so.
But I know what he's saying. It is too early to get all caught up in it, but pretty hard not to know it.
I think it's a good way to put it, not focused on it. I think that's the important thing. Well, the Rangers tonight taking on the Baltimore Orioles in the Game 2 of this 3-game set. And here's the Oriole lineup that Buck Showalter has thrown out there. Nick Markakis again leads off. He's in right field. J.J. Hardy, that started shortstop tonight. He bats second. The left fielder Nate McLeod is next. Batting cleanup playing center field, Adam Jones. Matt Wieters is the catcher. He hits fifth. The DH tonight, Chris Davis bats sixth. Mark Reynolds at first. Omar Quintanilla is the second baseman this evening. He's hitting eighth and hitting ninth. The rookie third baseman, Manny Machado.
And the scouting report for Scott, 6-8, 463, really doesn't tell the whole story. He did walk 4 guys against the Yankees, but he'd only walked 4 in the previous 8 starts. Command has not been an issue. And I think when you look at what Scott has done in the second half of his statistics, you see a very consistent pitcher with good stuff who's done a great job for the Rangers.
Nick Markakis, a .290 hitter with a 5-game hitting streak, steps in, hits the second pitch up in the air on the infield. Elvis Andrus makes the catch, and that is out number 1. We'll take a look at the rest of the Ranger defense. Murphy, Hamilton, and Cruz left, center, and right. On the infield, Moreland at first, Kinsler, and you saw Elvis, the shortstop. Beltre at third. Giovanni Soto is behind the plate. And the umpiring crew tonight, the crew chief, Brian Gorman, is calling the balls and strikes. Todd Tishner at first, Tony Randazzo, and Bob Davidson at second and third base this evening. So one away on a couple of pitches for Scott Feldman. Now here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy did not play in last night's ball game. At the evening off, and J.J. Hardy, you got to be careful with this guy, especially early in the ball game. Boy, he loves to get the Orioles off on the right foot. He's got 16 home runs, and a lot of them have come before the third inning. He's the kind of guy that can jump on a pitcher quickly and get them down in a hole very quickly. 49 RBI for Hardy. Feldman's 1-1 pitch.
He's not going to jump on that pitch.
No.
If he keeps it down there, that's all he's got to throw. If he can keep it right down there, a good hard sinker. Got Markakis right off the bat to swing at an inside cutter. Got jammed on that little pop-up to shortstop. See, number 3's out of the strike zone, but it didn't look that way to Hardy.
Got him swinging on a breaking ball. Oh, a pop-up, a punch-out, and now Nate McLeod will come up.
Yeah, he established the sinker right there to J.J. Hardy. And then with 2 strikes, he throws a good curveball right where you want to keep it, down and away. Really fooled Hardy with that.
McLeod, the left-handed hitter acquired from the Pirates organization. Pirates had sent him to AAA, and Orioles picked him up. 4 RBI thus far for McLeod, the former all-star outfielder with the Pirates. And the fastball strike, and it's 1-1. We were talking last night, Tom, about the number of pickups that the Orioles have made off the waiver wire, and they've really done a lot to help their ball club. McLeod, one of those guys that has fit in nicely, kind of a change of scenery for him coming over from Pittsburgh. Well, things have gone south, and Buck Showalter has made guys like McLeod feel very at home and very much like they're contributing to a good ball club. Check swing, and he went around.
The thing they've been able to do, Buzz, is they haven't really been a lot of high-profile moves, trade deadline moves for big-ticketed players. They've been a little behind-the-scenes kind of things. A bullpen guy here, a left fielder there. And when you put them all together, they really have contributed to a good team. Good splitter from Scott to get that swing.
1-2 pitch. That cutter is just off the plate inside. And the count is even to McLeod.
If he swung at that, it would have resulted in a broken bat. And it was pretty close to being a strike, too. Could have been a strike.
And that pitch in the dirt. So the count has gone full now. McLeod hitting in the number 3 slot, trying to get aboard and extend this first inning. Adam Jones, the center fielder, blowing a bubble, waiting in the on-deck circle. Just underway here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Rangers come in at 71-50. Second best record ever after this number of games in franchise history. And that pitch just inside. Didn't miss by much. McLeod, though, taking it, and he draws the 2-out walk.
And he took it because he knew he couldn't hit it. Scott threw one in there that was very close to being a strike. Watch the catcher's glove. It's got to be pretty close, too. Now, slightly off the plate, but either one, number 4 or number 6, could have been a strike. Scott just didn't get the call.
The 1-on, 2-out. Here's Adam Jones. Jones, the center fielder and cleanup man for Buck Showalter's club. And a little squib RBI. There goes the runner from first. Jones. The throw to second is into center field. Up and moving on to third is McLeod as Hamilton gets the ball back in. It'll be a stolen base and an error on the throw from Giovanni Soto.
Yesterday, after 2 quick outs, McLeod hit a double, and Jones got jammed and hit a little blooper for a base hit. But they're not going to have much chance throwing out a good base stealer if Scott doesn't get to the ball to the plate a little quicker than that. On that particular play, Soto would have been better off not even to throw it.
Yeah.
Had no chance to get him.
And McLeod now at third. Count of no balls and a strike to Adam Jones. Feldman will still work from the stretch. And the breaking ball just off the outside corner. It is 1-1. Jones, the team leader with those 63 RBI and the 24 home runs. Brings in a modest 3-game hitting streak. That's a strike at the knees as Feldman got the bottom of the strike zone. 1-2. Feldman making his 16th start, 22nd appearance of the year. As he put together that outstanding 6-game winning streak. He reestablished himself in the starting rotation. 5 of those were starts. One of them came in relief. He's lost his last 2, but he has pitched better than an 0-2 record would indicate. The right-hander set. And the pitch off the glove of Soto all the way to the backstop. And the wild pitch is going to score the run. And Baltimore again has scored an early inning run against the Rangers. It's 1-0.
Man, you hate to give up a run like that. I mean, they're just giving up a run right there. 2 quick outs, walk a hitter, stolen base, error. You got 2 strikes on the hitter, and just launch one back to the screen.
So Baltimore jumps on top. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jones. High chopper down the third baseline, and that will veer off into foul territory. DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach for the Orioles, making a friend in the first row down there as he picked it up and handed it to a young man. Still 2-2 to Jones. Well hit to left field, but right there, David Murphy. 2 steps to his left, hauls it in, and that'll do it. But Baltimore comes up with a run. No hits, but an error involved in the inning. Rangers coming to bat, trailing 1-0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Top of the first, so the Rangers will come to bat trying to play catch-up again for the second game in a row. And here's Ron Washington's lineup. Ian Kinsler leads off. Elvis Andrus bats second. He's the shortstop. Center fielder is Josh Hamilton. Cleaning things up, playing third base, Adrian Beltre. Nelly Cruz in right field bats fifth. The DH is Michael Young. David Murphy bats seventh. He's the left fielder. The catcher, Giovanni Soto, bats eighth, and hitting ninth, the first baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Chris Tillman on the mound tonight for the Orioles. Scouting report, he's off to a nice start. He was called up early in July. He's had 8 starts, nice record, 5-2, 365. One of the reasons the Orioles have been playing so well. He's pitched better on the road than he has at Camden Yards, and over half of the runs he's given up have come in the first inning. So get him early if you can. He's got a good arm. He's pitched a good game against the Rangers in the past. Been a little inconsistent in his big league career. 7-15, 5.58 ERA coming into this season in portions of 3 different years. He's got a good arm.
And the first pitch to Ian Kinsler is a fastball in the outside corner for strike one. Ian, as you see, at 265, 13 home runs, 56 driven in. 1-1 the count. Ian back on the rise after suffering through a very, very tough road trip. He was just 1 out of 24 in the 2 stops. Swings and pops this one up right out in front of home plate. Machado and Reynolds coming down. It's Manny Machado, the third baseman, to make the catch, and Kinsler is out. 1 gone. The rest of the Oriole defense tonight. You have McLeod, Jones, and Markakis in the outfield. Very good outfield. Reynolds at first, Quintanilla and Hardy up the middle, Machado at third. Matt Wieters behind the plate, and Chris Tillman on the mound this evening. Orioles, 94 errors on defense, and that's the most in Major League Baseball, but they've been much better since Manny Machado has taken over at third. They feel that was an upgrade defensively, and Mark Reynolds has done a very good job at first. Since the All-Star break, they're in the top 5 in fielding in the American League. First pitch to Elvis. 1 ball, no strikes. Andrus at 299. A couple of home runs, 49 driven in. And like the man before him and the man after him, he comes in with a modest 2-game hitting streak. That's out of play to the right. 1-1. Elvis having a great August, as you can tell. 9 multiple hit games in the month. Two and one the count. Elvis has already tied his career high in doubles. He had 27 of them so far. Hits this one to right, hits it pretty well. Backing up Markakis in front of the warning track. He backpedals and puts it away. There are 2 gone for Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, tonight, Buzz, not much wind at all. We talk about the jet stream. Usually affects the ball traveling out to right center field. Some nights it blows in a different direction. Tonight, just a real mild breeze. Doesn't look like it'll have much effect at all.
The wind this evening at about 5-7 miles an hour or so, blowing out of the west, so it's blowing out to left field. Now here's Josh. Off-speed pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1. Numbers on Hamilton through 113 games. Josh just 2 for his last 17, but you go back over the last couple of weeks, he has turned things around pretty well, hitting .333. Good fastball for a strike from Tillman. It's 1-2. And the Angels an early lead on the Red Sox at Fenway Park, 3-0. Ball game, top of the 4th inning. 2-2 the count. Matt Wieters doing a little groundskeeping work around home plate as you look at the career numbers for Hamilton against Baltimore. Very impressive. The 2-2, and the breaking ball is low. Josh able to lay off, and count has gone full to Hamilton. So Josh trying to get aboard to extend this first inning for the Rangers. He'll be followed by Adrian Beltre. 1-0 Baltimore in the early going here. Payoff pitch. And a tapper foul at home plate. Josh stays alive. First, remember that 4-home run game that Hamilton had back on the 8th of May in Baltimore. 4 home runs, 8 RBI, 18 total bases. Got him swinging. Up the ladder went Tillman, and Josh couldn't get that high. Side retired. Rangers gone in order. After 1 complete, the Orioles 1, the Rangers 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Second inning. Let's bring in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thanks, Buzz. Ranger fans out in full force again tonight. Looking for another Ranger win. You bet. They're ready to go. Community Corner this evening. We're talking about spending the evening with the legend. That's what took place tonight before the game. About 100 guests took part in a question and answer session with Nolan Ryan. They also had a great meal and also some photos. And this is all to benefit the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation. To find out more about benefits like this, log on to texasrangers.com/foundation. What's the holdup down there? Come on, guys. Let's play ball, huh?
All right, Jim, thanks. Hey, do a little groundskeeping work around home plate. A little bit of the drying compound. Now we're set to go, and Orioles will send up Matt Wieters to start things off. Wieters, the switch hitting catcher. And Scott Feldman goes to work with a fastball up and in for ball one. Small sample of at-bats for Wieters against Feldman, but 3 out of 8 so far. And Feldman misses low and outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Scott now at the 20 pitch mark, and in the early going, he's had an equal number of strikes and balls. And that's inside, 3-0. Feldman walked McLouth with 2 outs in the first, and a stolen base and an error and a wild pitch later. He was home to score the only run in this game.
And Scott's got a good cutter. He's just missing with it to left-hand hitters a little bit inside. He's throwing a good sinker.
Feldman, the 29-year-old from Burlingame, California. Out of San Mateo City College, 3-1 pitch, and that is a knee-high strike. Now the count has gone full. Wieters hitting in the number 5 slot. He'll be followed by former Ranger and the designated hitter. That's Chris Davis. Feldman to the wind, the payoff pitch. Line drive, Beltre to his left, pulls it in. Great reactions by the Gold Glove third baseman Adrian Beltre.
That ball was hit hard. Last 2 balls have hit hard. Adam Jones lined out to end the inning to David Murphy. And Wieters slices this ball to left field. That ball was hit hard. But Adrian was shading way over toward shortstop, and he was right in the way of the ball. That doesn't feel good as a hitter. Have a tough at bat like that, hit the ball that hard, and have nothing to show for it.
I wouldn't think so. You get all those hang withums when you get back to the bench. That's not a lot of fun.
I don't want to hear that.
First pitch to Chris Davis is high and outside for ball one. Davis with those numbers, 20 home runs, 60 RBI. He's 1 home run shy of his career high. And he's already tied his career high in RBI. Hard hit ground ball by the diving Andrews, who is shading over on the second base side of the bag. And Davis with a 1-out single is aboard for Mark Reynolds. The Rangers had the overshift on and just weren't shifted quite enough. That hard hit ground ball got by Elvis. Just by that much. So there's the first hit of the game. Comes here with 1 out in the second inning. And now Feldman will have to deal with Mark Reynolds, the power hitting first baseman. Long look by Feldman at first, and pitch is chopped foul over the photographer's bay on the home plate side of the Orioles dugout. 0-1, the count to Reynolds. Reynolds 3 for 4 in a brief sample against Scott Feldman in his career.
You know, over the last 4 years, Reynolds has averaged 209 strikeouts, but he's also averaged 35 home runs and 93 RBIs. He's a power hitter. You can get him to swing and miss, but he can put a charge in it if you make a mistake to him.
The 0-1 for Feldman. A ball and a strike. You know, he's one of only 7 hitters that have had 30-plus home runs in each of the last 3 years. Joins the likes of Cabrera and Fielder, Howard, Pujols, Teixeira, and Uggla. That's pretty good company, and exclusive company for that matter. And Feldman will go first base way to drive Davis back. Reynolds on a pretty good streak of late. 350 average. 10 RBI in the last dozen ball games. 1-1. And it's 2 balls and a strike. So Scott's command not quite where he would like it in the early part of this ball game. Reynolds back in the box, and Feldman studying the signs from Giovanni Soto. Good pitch on the outside corner. It's 2-2 now to Reynolds. Orioles as a team coming in hitting at .244. That's the 11th in the American League. And, you know, if you analyze their numbers, you'd say there's no way this team is over 500, but they are. Right in the middle of that wild card hunt. And the count is now full to Reynolds at 3-2. Now we'll see what Buck Showalter does with Chris Davis at first. As Tom told you, Reynolds tends to strike out a lot. He's hitting in the number 7 slot. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Omar Quintanilla. Buck looking on. He's already made his wishes known to Davis. Davis on the move, and the pitch hit hard and pushed foul down the right side. That'll slice back into the seats. Buck flashing those signs out to his third base coach, DeMarlo Hale, who will relay them to Chris Davis.
And Chris is not an exceptionally fast runner, but Scott's a little slow to the plate, kind of evens that off. But Reynolds is susceptible to striking out, so you got a shot. Strike him out, throw him out.
Feldman working on Davis a little bit. Scott already uncharacteristically has gone to a full count now on 3 different hitters. So it has not been the best command for Feldman yet. That can change pretty quickly. Right-hander's ready. Again, Davis on the move, and the pitch is chopped foul third base way this time. Davis getting in some wind sprints. Chris back to first. And Feldman with a new baseball, trying to see where the best spot on that ball is to get the feel that he wants. Set for the 8th pitch of this at bat to Mark Reynolds. Davis going again, and Reynolds hits a towering fly ball to left. Murphy going back. He is at the track, at the wall, and with his back up against the out-of-town scoreboard, he makes the catch.
That's one that he just missed. He got underneath it and hit it sky high. Probably a home run in Baltimore. That part of the field in Camden Yards is not very deep. But he gets, look like a hanging cutter maybe right near the middle of the plate. It's got some definite hang time on it, but fortunately it falls a little bit short of the wall, and David's right there to get it.
And that might have gotten just a little assist from the wind. It's blowing out that way, and that was high enough to have the effect of the wind be magnified on the ball a bit. So 2 outs. Here's Omar Quintanilla. Quintanilla, another of those guys picked up by the Orioles, kind of a quiet pickup, but he has played really well for Baltimore since coming over. .277. He's hit 3 home runs. That was as many as he had his entire career prior to this. Almost 600 at bats. 0-1 pitch from Feldman. It's chopped foul. Quintanilla gets a pretty good piece of his right leg. 0-2 now. Oh, that's That's going to be real sore tomorrow. Quintanilla trying to talk himself out of that thing hurting him, throbbing. And he's back in there. No balls, 2 strikes, the count. Bellman ready to work. Davis a small lead at first. Scott, go ahead and throw it. Good way to hurt yourself. Starting your motion and don't finish off throwing it and trying to stop everything. Ugh. Weakly hit ground ball that Mitch Moreland will take care of. He runs to the bag, beats Quintanilla, and that will do it. So the Orioles get a hit, but Strander runner will move to the bottom of the second. Baltimore 1, Texas 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Baseball Hall of Fame for excellence in baseball broadcasting. And now through September the 7th, Rangers fans can cast their vote to put Eric Nadel on the final ballot. Simply click on Ford Frick Award on the homepage of TexasRangers.com and cast your vote. Eric has been a finalist the last couple of years for that award, and not too far down the road. Hopefully this next ballot he will be inducted into the rightful place that he deserves in the Baseball Hall of Fame, the broadcasters wing. Eric in his 34th year as Ranger radio broadcaster. Adrian Beltre takes high for ball 1. Beltre, Cruz, and Young to face Tillman here in the second inning. That breaking ball is wide, and Adrian now the advantage in the count at 2-0. Saw the numbers for Adrian in 19 home runs, 68 driven in. He's been in a bit of an RBI drought, however. Lines this one to right center field. It's over the leaping Quintanilla. And that settles in for a leadoff single. Beltre a big turn, and he will head back to first. So Beltre with the first hit of the night for the Rangers. Aboard to start the second, and that brings up Nelly Cruz.
Adrian gets ahead in the count 2-0. Looking fastball, gets a fastball, goes with it. Hard hit ball for Adrian. Saw Tillman last inning start out throwing around 90, and then when he got in trouble, or not really trouble, but when he wanted a little extra with his fastball, he threw one up to 94 miles an hour, the one he struck out Josh with.
First pitch to Cruz is outside, ball 1. got to think with Tillman, just watching him throw, that his best fastball is probably a high fastball, the best velocity-wise. I think the Rangers, as hitters, would try and make him get the fastball down where they can do something much like Adrian Beltre did. Guy that throws pretty much over the top and works downhill like that. 1-0 pitch. Cruz got one to handle there and fouled it straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelly with the best numbers of his career against anybody. 375 with 6 home runs, 30 RBI in 33 games against Baltimore. Beltre at first. A leadoff single put him aboard. 1-1 pitch to Cruz. Check swing, and it was a foul tip on the breaking ball.
If that ball curved to the left a little bit and got out near the middle of the plate, he had it timed really well, but it just kind of came straight down and stayed inside. That's why he tried to check his swing.
Now Tillman okays the sign. The right-hander's ready. The 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. That's that fastball that's up above belt high, and it's a little bit quicker up there. That's out number 1. Michael Young coming up, and let's go down and visit with Emily Jones again. Emily.
Well, Michael Young with 3 extra base hits in his last 2 games. That's his best back-to-back outing since April of this season. He says it's very simple as far as the mechanics are concerned, and it has to do with his hands.
My biggest strengths as a hitter are my hands and my bat speed, so I just want to put myself in the best position possible where I can use that. Sometimes as a hitter you can use a little too much body and get in the way of your biggest strength. So that's an adjustment I've been working on over the last several weeks, and I keep working to stay on top of it.
Has paid off so far in this homestand. Obviously, Michael looking to continue that. We've gotten so used to the consistency that he has brought over the course of his career here that the uncharacteristic season that he's had is something we're all, I guess, trying to figure out, and so is Michael too, guys.
All right, Emily, thank you. Yeah, good points. And Young fouls the next pitch off. He's down a hole now. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Numbers on Michael. Now, the one thing that we've noticed watching Michael over the last 10 days to 2 weeks is he's starting to drive the ball again to right field, up the middle of the field and to right field. And when he starts driving the ball that way, you know he's pretty close to being where he wants to. 1-2 as Tillman misses high and away. Michael 0 for 3 in his career against Chris Tillman. And the big right-hander's ready as Beltre gets away from first. Got him swinging. In that high fastball, and it's just pretty tough to get on top of a fastball riding up like that away from you.
Last 3 outs have all been on high fastballs, all swings and misses. Probably a little bit out of the strike zone. Josh, Nelly, and Michael have all swung at the high fastball.
So back-to-back punch-outs, 3 in the night for Tillman. 2 gone with Beltre still at first. Here's David Murphy. Murph now that average at 309. Breaking ball in the dirt, and a nice block by Matt Wieters. Wieters, an all-star catcher, and looks like he's going to be a fixture back there for the better part of the next decade for the Orioles. Wieters throws out about 37%, which today is really remarkable, of attempted base stealers.
We saw the guy he threw out yesterday. That was a laser he shot to second base yesterday.
Now we'll take a look at the Ford leaderboard, the August leaders in batting average. David Murphy down there in 4th place, 368. Eric Ibar leading things. Jeter and Cabrera are 2nd and 3rd. The 1-1 pitch to Murph. And it's 2-1. Now, David, ever since he was telling us he moved on top of the plate more, he said it was only 3 or 4 inches, but that's made all the difference in the world in the results that he's gotten. That came back in the latter stages of July. That pitch on the outside corner to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
David's a patient hitter. Doesn't strike out an exceptional amount of times. Has the highest on base percentage of any Ranger. 389.
And he pulls this one on the ground to second base. Quintanilla on to first. That will do it. So the Rangers can't do anything with Beltre's leadoff single. They strand a runner. We're going to the third. It's the Orioles 1, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by Toshiba. We head to the top of the third inning. Orioles leading 1-0. And joining us now as he does during the homestands, Ranger President and CEO Nolan Ryan. Nolan, thanks for letting us invade your privacy down there.
Appreciate my pleasure. I always enjoy talking to y'all.
First hitter of the inning, Manny Machado. Yeah, you mentioned something when you're testing your headset. May have their hands full tonight talking about the Rangers. You like the young man that's on the mound for the Orioles, Chris Tillman?
He really is throwing well. He has a good angle on his fastball, and he has a really hard breaking curveball, and he likes to throw it. We've seen an awful lot of it here early in the game. And he looks like he's got a feel for pitching.
1-1 pitch to Machado's outside. The Orioles, well, I guess the good news, bad news, they've had some hard times, fallen on hard times the last 10 years. They've really come up with some good young pitching, and it seems like that is a direction that you and the organization are trying to go with the Rangers to develop that homegrown pitching. Machado going for 2. The throw to second is in time. They got it.
Oh, wow.
Great throw by David Murphy and a great tag by Ian Kinsler, knowing where the bag was and where he was.
Our outfielders just time and again uncork exceptional throws. It didn't look like there was any way David could throw out Machado going to second base.
I felt the same way. I didn't think that we'd have a play, but I think it's just what Buzz said. It was a good throw, and Ian's presence of knowing where the bag was and making the tag, I really think was the difference in that play.
Boy, that was something. What a throw, what a tag.
So one gone. Here's Markakis, and he takes a strike. But anyway, back to the Ranger organization. It seems like that direction change was made 6-7 years ago, and y'all have really started to get some of those young, talented pitchers coming up on a consistent basis through the organization.
Well, our attitude is, Buzz, is that you know, you can't have enough pitching, and you can always trade arms for hitting. And I just think that that's where the strength of an organization is. And I think it's shown this over the last few years on some of the trades that we've been able to make where we gave up some of our young pitching prospects. Even though we didn't want to get rid of them, we felt like that we had enough depth in the organization that we could afford to do it to be able to fill in what we felt like we needed to on the big league level.
Here's J.J. Hardy.
Nolan, several years ago, you talked about, especially with the minor league pitchers, doing a little more running, more conditioning, throwing batting practice, pitching maybe a little deeper into games, maybe a little tougher mental outlook as far as pitching goes. Have you been pleased with the progress that the franchise has made?
Yeah, I really have. I feel like that we're seeing that in our young pitchers, and I think that our development people are stressing that, and their mound presence and how they go about their work. And so I've been real pleased with the development of our pitchers. And I think, as I said earlier, it's shown when other organizations are willing to talk to you about some of your minor league prospects and mainly in the pitching area that we have been able to do some trades because of that.
What Tom was talking about, Nolan, that kind of philosophy and the kind of thinking that you want to talk to the young pitchers. Are you also battling the pitch count mentality that's kind of filtered down to even little league, where you have to almost teach guys to pitch differently than they're used to?
Well, I think what happens is that there's a number that's randomly picked, and that pitchers are expected to not surpass that number. And I think so what it does is develops a barrier that a lot of pitchers don't get the opportunity to go past, and so we really don't know what their potential is, and we don't know what their pitch limit is. And everybody has a pitch limit, but each person's different, and so that pitch limit's different with them, and an organization and the pitching coach have to be able to develop that and know that, and also have an eye for it.
I know you might be a little reluctant to talk about another organization's philosophy, but I'm sure you've been following Steven Strasburg with Washington and his pitch count coming back from surgery. Do we have any kind of a philosophy on a situation like that?
Well, we get a lot of guidance from our team doctors and orthopedic people that we truly respect their opinion. And one thing about Lou Yoakum, I've gone back with Lou back when I was with the Angels, and he's been at it a long time, and I truly respect his opinion, and it's been a lifetime commitment of his. So I feel like that he's probably as knowledgeable as anybody, and so I'm certainly going to respect his opinion on something of that nature.
Yeah, I will second that too. Dr. Yoakum and I became very familiar with each other.
I can imagine.
Early in my career. He was working with Dr. Job, and that's when all that started. Yeah. I don't send him Christmas cards, but I really appreciate what he tried to do.
Yeah.
Nate McLeod, the hitter.
Well, I got an opportunity to see him a time or two in my career, too.
Yeah. Those are friendships that are nice to have, but you'd rather not have made them at that time.
Right, I agree. I'd rather see him on the golf course.
Nolan, did you ever have an arm issue throughout your career until the end?
I had a tear in '87 in my elbow, and I chose not to have Tommy John, and it scarred over enough I was able to pitch another 7 or 8 years. So, at that point in my career, I felt like I was too old. I didn't have enough time to rehab it, and plus it was early in that surgery, and so they weren't having the success rate they are now with it.
Gee, just think, if you had that surgery, you might have been able to pitch a couple more years.
Well, they may have done a couple of knee replacements and something else. I don't know.
Then I take back what I said about you at the foundation luncheon the other day about not having anything break. I didn't realize that it actually had broken earlier, and you just let it heal. Sorry.
Yeah, I did. But I was fortunate because I didn't have anything that happened late in the year, and I went home and let it heal over the winter time, and came back next spring and was able to pitch and just move forward. But I did have arm surgery once. And that's a jam jobber to watch right there.
That's a blast.
Oh, my God. That's a good one to stop on right there.
I'll tell you when the pitcher has to come in on it, you know you've been jammed.
Are you sitting down there snickering a little bit?
Hey, I'm going to tell you, Sonny and I get the biggest chuckles out of them down here.
Noah, thanks very much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Okay, guys.
All right, we'll come back for the bottom of the third. 1-0 Baltimore on Fox Sports Southwest. Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Visit www.hometownkids.tv for more information. Now, bottom of the third inning, and Giovanni Soto will start things off against Chris Tillman. Tillman has allowed just one hit. He has had 3 strikeouts tonight, and he throws a strike to Soto at the knees on the outside corner. Soto at 229 in a Ranger uniform, a home run, 7 driven in. Takes that breaking ball that stays high. It's 1-1. This is the 15th game for Giovanni in a Ranger uniform, and he takes outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Got a couple of birthday wishes, Buzz. Joseph Cantu has a birthday today, and Lloyd Bearden is 87. Happy birthday to 2 Ranger fans.
Soto skies one to center. Jones started back, now has to come in a few steps and puts it away for out number 1. Now let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a game break with Rick Renner. Rick.
And behind the first baseman, number 18, Mitch Moreland.
All right, Rick, thank you very much.
They're 9.5 games back of the Rangers, and they're 3.5 games behind Oakland for second place.
It's Moreland to watch that breaking ball tumble into the strike zone. It's 0-1.
I want to remind everybody that we can't do shout-outs for fans attending home games. There are just too many of you. Get a lot of requests for that. We do it on the road because there's not as many, but at home it's just impossible, so we apologize for that. I want to remind everybody, if you want to see the food items that we get, you want to thank everybody for sending those, you can go to foxsportssouthwest.com, click Tom's Treats and see them. Be some days where we don't get many. We might wait a couple of days before we put that up, but that's where they'll be.
And Mitch Moreland able to lay off those 2 high fastballs. The count is even at 2-2. Mitch, a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight's play. Saw the average at 289. Ground ball into the shift as Quintanilla is out in shallow right field. Throws to first. Moreland is retired. There are 2 gone, and back to the top of the order for Ian Kinsler.
In Tillman's last start, he pitched against the Red Sox. He pitched 4 2/3 innings through 110 pitches. Gave up 3 runs in that game. That was a home game. Hasn't pitched as well at Camden Yards as he has on the road. He's really done a nice job on the road. Got off to a pretty good start in this ball game too. The only hit was Adrian Beltre's line drive to right center field. At AAA, he was 8-8 with a 3.63 ERA. Pitching about the same here as he was in AAA. Opponents only hit 226 against him in AAA. They're hitting 247 against him so far right now. Been called up 3 different times over the last 3 years. Hasn't been very consistent, but he has been today.
Ian Kinsler drives one to left field. It is deep. Goodbye. Now the third base umpire is going to make the ruling on that. Bob Davidson saw it all the way, and he's signaling home run. Kinsler was stopping at second because Tony Randazzo, the second base umpire, had not signaled anything. But then Ian picked up the third base umpire, Bob Davidson, who was signaling home run, and we have a brand new ball game, 1 apiece.
Yeah, Buzz, I think that's kind of what you were talking about earlier. Make him get the fastball down, and it's a little different proposition when it's down around the knees or just a little bit above it than it was earlier when his strikeouts were about, most of them were about chest high. Yep, that's a home run hit off the back wall.
Yeah, and second time through, and you know, that's not to say that everybody's going to hit one on the ball out of the yard, but you have a better idea what the ball looks like to you coming up there, you know, and how it looks when you need to get it down. Doesn't that take a while for a hitter to adjust to? I mean, see a few pitches from a guy?
Yeah, I've always felt that way. The more you've seen a guy, the more comfortable you are. And this kind of a guy, it was always hard for me to lay off a high fastball anyway, but especially from a guy that threw pretty hard, was tall, and threw over the top. It just was a very difficult thing to do.
Like your buddy next door, Jim Palmer.
Yeah. I once went 0 for 4 against Jim Palmer, swung and missed 12 times in the game. Went to Chicago the next day, struck out against Ken Krabik 5 in a row. The sixth time up, I hit a foul pop-up down the left field line, and I was praying that it would stay in the park and someone would catch it, break the streak.
Elvis a little tapper back to the mound, and that will do it. But Ian Kinsler gets the Rangers even. His 14th home run of the year. We're going to the 4th, tied at 1. Rangers and the Orioles on Fox Sports Southwest. We head to the top of the fourth inning, a 1-1 ball game. Ian Kinsler, a solo home run in the third, his first home run in his last 15 ball games. That tied the ball game up. Meanwhile, Scott Feldman battling his control just a little bit. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits. The run that he gave up was unearned, but 50 pitches for Scott Feldman. That's quite a few more than we have been used to seeing him throw once he got things going in the rotation. But maybe that will change now. Maybe he's able to settle down. Adam Jones leading off the fourth inning for Baltimore, and Feldman pours in a fastball. It's 0-1. Jones lined to left field to end the Baltimore first inning. Feldman back to the plate. And that cutter well wide of the mark. 1-1 now. Adam Jones, the Gold Glove center fielder for the Orioles. Fouls the next pitch back. Orioles really making him the centerpiece of the future at the big league level. And rightfully so. This young man can do an awful lot of things. Great speed. He's the center fielder de jour for Baltimore, in that he has the kind of talent to play out there. Good power. Able to hit for a high average, drive in runs. And they rewarded him with a 6-year extension on his contract. He's gone here as Feldman gets that sinker down and in on him.
No, when he starts getting that pitch working where he can throw that consistently, that's the only pitch he needs to throw to a right-hand hitter. Run that thing in on the fist like that, you're going to get great results.
One out. Matt Wieters coming up, and let's go back over to Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thanks, Buzz. With Sean Decker of the Rangers here to talk about the first ever Rangers race that takes place on Labor Day. What's this all about?
Yeah, that's right. On September 3rd, we're going to host our first ever Rangers race here at the ballpark. We're going to start with a 1K fun run at 7:40, followed by a 5K race here at that'll go right at 8 o'clock. We'll do a post-race party here at the ballpark on the home dugout. We're encouraging everybody to come out. Portion of the proceeds are going to benefit the Texas Rangers Foundation, and we're also going to have the players' wives here to encourage all the runners on. We can get more information at texasrangers.com/race.
All right, there we go. A lot of fun activities. You got music, plenty of food, and a lot of people showing up. And 70 years of age and older, they get to run free, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We encourage them all to come.
All right, there we go. Sean, appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Buzz.
Okay, Knox, ask him if they have that 50-yard fun walk. I want to enter that if I can.
Buzz wants the 50-yard fun walk. We can create one for you.
He can walk. He can walk and do whatever he wants.
All right, there we go.
I'm going to have to get in shape for that, though. When is that? That's September the 3rd.
You might have to walk out to get your mail a couple of times to work up to it. You know, maybe walk out, get the newspaper a couple of times.
Well, I don't know. I've trained my dog now to go out and get the newspaper for him. I'm not sure I can
well,
make
just
that.
accompany him out there. He'd be glad to have you along with him.
Put the leash on my neck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might snarl at you a little bit, but
0-2 pitch, low and inside to Wieters. Matt Wieters at a sharp line drive that Adrian Beltre, playing off the line, was able to snag on its way to left field. So 0 for 1 tonight. That batting mark now at 242. To get a look at the Ranger defense, kind of bunched up on that left side a little bit. And the 1-2 offering. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Scott Feldman, 61 pitches, 38 strikes. Breakdown, the strikes to balls has improved significantly in the last inning plus. 1-2 pitch again. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball. And Soto will fire on to first to Moreland. And that is out number 2. So back-to-back strikeouts. Feldman had gone the first 3 innings without a strikeout. Now he has 2 to start the 4th. And will face Chris Davis. Well, folks, to celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS is giving away 40 Samsung 4G LTE phones. Enter to win at all participating locations. Metro PCS, it's wireless for all.
I really like it when Scott features his sinker and his cutter, gets ahead in the count, and uses the curveball strategically like that to Wieters. then he's really effective.
Yep.
I think the less they see his curveball, the more they're inclined to swing at it.
Chris Davis had that go off his fist and off his foot, and it's a foul ball. It's 0-1.
He's gotten ahead in the count with 2 strikes, and then he throws the curveball down and out of the strike zone. He gets Wieters to wave at it. So good start to the 4th inning. 2 straight strikeouts.
0-1 the count to Davis. Chris had a single up the middle his first time to the plate. One of 3 Baltimore hits that Feldman has given up. That pitch is high, and Davis able to lay off it. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Chris, the former Ranger from Longview out in East Texas. Good to see that he's gotten the opportunity with Baltimore, and he's having a pretty good run of success. That backdoor breaking ball missed. It's 2-1. Chris had been playing a lot of first base, and then Mark Reynolds moved over there, and he was playing well at first, so Buck Showalter just left him there and let Davis handle the DH chores. And that's pulled foul, and I mean well foul, like into the upper deck foul on the right side.
Well, we haven't had a chance to see Chris play a whole lot with the Orioles at first base, but looking back to the time he was with the Rangers, he was a very good first baseman defensively, made a lot of really good plays, has strong arm. Got a win as a pitcher this year for the Orioles. Pitched 2 shutout innings against, I think it was the Red Sox, to get a win in extra innings. That wasn't a token appearance. He had to make the appearance, and he got the win in the game. Usually it's a mop-up job. You're down by about 10 or 12 runs. No one's left out there. No one was left, but it wasn't a mop-up. It was an extra inning game.
Yeah, it was scoreless game. Not scoreless. It was into the 16th inning.
Yeah,
it was.
We need you, big guy.
Yeah. Again, the 2-2 from Feldman. It's out of play to the left. Matter of fact, Davis getting that win became the first American League position player to get a win in a game since Rocky Colavito back in 1968.
Wow.
That's how long that goes back.
Yeah, I guess that pretty much says they don't pitch in games that they have a chance to get a win. They're all blowouts, and they're always behind.
Got him swinging.
And there's Splitter.
Side retired, a mow him down inning for Scott Feldman. Strike out the side, and Scott Feldman rolling through the 4th. 3.5 in the books. Rangers 1, Orioles 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Great hands of the game play, and this is how the 3rd inning started for the Orioles. Manny Machado line one to left field. Murphy cut it off and threw a one-hop strike to Ian Kinsler, who made the tag. Great arm by Murphy, a great tag by Kinsler. Great hands on both ends of that play. That is why this is a 1-1 ball game. Plays like that for the Rangers. Josh Hamilton starting things off here in the Ranger fourth. Hamilton, Beltre, and Cruz, the heart of the Ranger order, to face Chris Tillman. And a little squib shot up the middle. J.J. Hardy charges and throws out Hamilton, who mishit that ground ball to short. One pitch, one away for Adrian Beltre.
Third baseman, Adrian Beltre.
Chris Tillman, the 24-year-old from Fountain Valley, California, down in Orange County. About a 10-mile ride from Angel Stadium out there. Originally drafted by the Mariners out of high school. He misses outside to Beltre. Beltre, a leadoff single in the second, but the Rangers stranded him right there at first base. And he takes a belt high strike. Tillman into that side saddle windup, and Beltre hits a drive to center field. Jones going back. He is at the track. That ball dying as it gets out there to right center and into the glove of Jones just as he steps onto the warning track.
That's way out of here on some days when it's 105 degrees in the jet stream. That ball's way up in the seats. Hanging curveball. Looked like he hit it pretty good too. Went down on one knee to do it.
Stayed in the yard, but not by much.
Hit it 400 feet.
So two gone. Here's Nelly Cruz. Ball one. And, you know, you were talking about Camden Yards, about the size of the ballpark, and the ball carries pretty well there too. I can see why Tillman would have better success on the road than he does pitching in Camden Yards for the most part.
Yeah.
A lot of long fly balls when he makes a mistake.
Man, Camden Yards, it doesn't take a long fly ball to get out of there
Right.
in left field for sure.
Yeah.
And if you hit it high, not much to right field either. Good hitter's park.
3 balls and no strikes now to Cruz. Nelly went down swinging his first time to face Tillman. Right-hander back to the plate. And gets a strike to the outer edge. 3-1. And ball 4 puts Cruz aboard with 2 outs. Gives Michael Young a shot at Tillman here in the 4th inning. That's the first walk issued by Chris Tillman tonight. Michael steps to the plate, having struck out the only time he has faced the Oriole right-hander. Michael, a modest 2-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Now 4 out of his last 10 trips to the plate. Cruz a short lead at first as Tillman sets. And Young going after that fastball up a little bit, fouled it straight back. That 5 RBI game on Sunday in Toronto got Michael up over the, or at the 50 RBI plateau. Tillman with the 0-1 pitch on the way. Young lines it down the right field line, but that's going to slice foul and go off the glove of a fan leaning over to try and make the play. And it wasn't the fan that eventually got the ball from Nick Markakis, or the ball boy.
No, he brought his glove. He's got a shot at it. Oh, what a heartbreaker. Sitting way out there with a glove. You're probably thinking, I don't have any chance to have a ball come to me. And then here it comes, and couldn't hold on to it. I feel your pain.
And Michael again going that way, and it's well out of play. The bad part about it too is he had a friend with him that can verify the whole thing happened.
Yeah, and now he can go back and take a look at the video and see it himself. That's okay. That was a good try. Got the glove on it. Wasn't like he whiffed on it or anything. Seen that before. They got something to talk about. He made friends he never knew.
Yeah.
He would make friends with.
0-2, still the count to Young. And this to right center field. In a hurry as Markakis on the run. He makes the grab. Markakis closing ground in a hurry, and Rangers can't do anything with a 2-out walk. Cruz left stranded. We finished 4 in Arlington. The Orioles won, the Rangers won on Fox Sports Southwest. Trivia question we're asking tonight is the Rangers' record for most runs in a game was 30. Remember that back in Baltimore in 07. What's the Rangers' record for most runs in an inning? Give you half an inning to think about that, and if you happen to be partial to pitchers, you probably won't want to answer that. And that's okay. I feel that pain. We go to the top of the 5th inning. I'd like to welcome along Mark McLemore, co-host of Rangers Live. Mac, thanks for stopping by and chatting with us for an inning.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Feldman to work and misses outside with a breaking ball. Mark Reynolds is the hitter. Little different game than we saw the Rangers involved in last night, or a different feel to it, I guess, anyway. The Orioles still held down, but looks like Tillman is up to the task tonight against the Ranger hitters.
He is. He's matching Feldy for pitch, really. Just not getting in tough situations. He's had a couple of pitches left out over the plate that we missed. Hit him pretty deep, but didn't get him out of the ballpark.
Had a little fun last night with that little jam shot base hit that Mitch Moreland had. Been a couple of good ones tonight, too.
A couple of good ones. Ball's not carrying to center, obviously.
That last one that McLeod hit to Scott Feldman had to come in for. That was right up there with Mitch's.
That's just a bad feeling as a hitter. You know, you get ready and here comes the pitch and you swing and it dribbles 15 feet. That's not a good feeling.
I'd rather swing and miss. No one makes fun of you when you strike out and you swing and miss. Of course, no one was really making fun of Mitch as much because he got a base hit on that ball.
And the count has gone full now to Mark Reynolds. So Feldman, after striking out the side in order in the 4th, has gone full to the first hitter here in the 5th inning. Reynolds 0 for 1, a fly ball to the wall in center field or left field. His first time up. Payoff pitch, and that's a base hit to left field. Reynolds reaching out. He's a very strong man and basically a one-handed swing out there. He was able to line it to left. A leadoff single to start the fifth for Baltimore. It'll bring up Omar Quintanilla.
Wayne Kirby's the first base coach. Wayne had been in the Ranger organization for a long time. I'm sure Buck Showalter was familiar with him because of that. Chose him to be his first base coach. Haven't met many players that didn't like Wayne Kirby. Good-natured guy.
Beltre creeping down the line from third in case Quintanilla is thinking about bunting. And Feldman will toss to first to drive Reynolds back. Saw Quintanilla's 3 home runs when I was reading the stats the other day on the plane coming back from Toronto. I thought it must have been a misprint. He had 3 home runs, I think his first 4 years in the major leagues total. There's a bunt foul. But no, he's started to swing the bat. He's getting some mistakes apparently and driving him out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he had 1 in the National League too, Buzz, so he's got 4 this year altogether.
Holy cow.
It's even better than you thought.
Yeah. May have to get some extra testing on him. Just kidding, Omar. 0-1 the count. Feldman checking first and goes that way. A quick throw and Reynolds back with a dive.
What do you make out of the Melky Cabrera case? Isn't that a weird one?
That's sad.
I mean, you put yourself in that position to begin with, and then the fake product on the website. What was someone thinking?
That's a sad situation. It's hard to feel for a guy like that. Number one, that he did what he did, and then 2, to try and cover it up the way that he tried to.
He might end up getting in more trouble for covering it up.
Right.
Trying to cover it up.
You know, I've got to feel bad for his teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
Not, you know, it's not,
exactly.
you know, not just him. I mean, he let that organization down. They had a really good chance, you know, getting to postseason. Not saying that they don't anymore, but it's obviously a huge blow to the whole organization. You just don't know when you're going to have the opportunity to get to postseason play. It's not a given, no matter what team you have.
Beltre going to second. Kinsler just did get there, and the throw to the outfield side of second. Kinsler able to drag his foot across the bag as Beltre's throw was a little bit off mark.
That was a nice play by Ian to, number one, catch that rifle shot from Beltre and also to keep his foot on the bag. It looked like. What are you thinking about as a second baseman coming across and the ball coming to you like that, Mac?
Catch the ball, keep your foot on the bag. Catch it. Just get one. Make sure you do whatever you can do to get that one out. That's a tough play.
Looked like Ian almost tried to kneel down on the bag just to make sure something touched the bag.
He was going to have every part of that lower body trying to hit that bag if he could. But that's a tough play. You're coming hard, and then the throw is just offline a little bit. It's tough to make that adjustment.
First pitch to Manny Machado is outside for ball 1. Machado hit a rocket to left field that Murphy cut off before it got into the corner and threw Machado out as he was trying to stretch a single into a double to lead off the third inning.
And Machado is the 3rd pick in the 2010 draft. High school player, he's only 20 years old. Looks like he put a charge in it.
Oops, just put a charge in his left leg. Wow.
Not a good feeling. So, Buzz, where do you think this next pitch is going to be?
Well, I think I know where it should be. See if he can do it again. No, you know, that's changed a little bit though over the years, Mac, and it's still, I still don't understand it. Guys don't want to tend to go right back to a ball like that the guy hit off his leg, and I don't know why. Wouldn't your tendency be as you get a look at that thing? Boy, that was almost off the knee. Wouldn't your tendency be as a hitter that you saw a ball come in the same place, you just can't make yourself swing at it?
No. As a hitter, no. You know, okay, if I do it, it's like putting your hand on a fire. Okay, I did that last time, and that hurt.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I'm a pitcher, that next pitch is there, and if he doesn't swing at it, I'm going to throw it again and again.
trainer went out there and said, Manny, you're young. You'll be all right.
Yeah, that's probably going to cost him.
Marlo Hale going through a series of signs down there. Little delay tactic to let Machado recover some sense of normalcy in that leg. Feldman, a long look to first. Now the 1-1. There you go.
Oh, boy. He couldn't swing at that pitch if he wanted to.
No.
He didn't swing at it. He got lucky. He got the call.
Boston coming back a little bit. They now trailed the Angels 5-3 in that game in the 7th inning at Fenway Park.
He got the call because it was inside. Not really that close to being a strike.
Two balls, one strike. Good breaking ball from Feldman to even the count. Machado broke in like a firecracker, going off in an arsenal for the Orioles. Had 4 extra base hits in his first 2 ball games. That's out of play. Folks, that's not a misprint. It's August the 21st, and we are at, about 8:30, 72 degrees.
Well, enjoy it, Buzz, because you probably won't see it for a while.
No, you're right.
No, I think it's supposed to get back up close to 100 the rest of the week, isn't it?
Definitely in the 90s.
And the count is now full. That's all right. I'll take it while we can get it. It's been very refreshing the last 2 days.
I've got a bottle that I'm just going to run around and try and gather as much of this up as I possibly can.
Quintanilla edging off first. Chances are he'll be moving on this next delivery. He's on the move, and pitch is fouled away by Machado. We'll come back and try it again. Well, folks, make sure and follow the Rangers with MLB.com at BAT12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole lot more. Just text at BAT to 31826 or visit TexasRangers.com for details. Feldman again with a payoff pitch. Quintanilla on the move. The ball is sliced to right center field. Hamilton on his horse into the alley. Can't make the play. It's by him into the wall. Quintanilla around third. He will score on to third with a triple. Is Manny Machado, and the Orioles take a 2-1 lead.
I mentioned that that kid's only 20 years old. That was a pretty good at bat for a 20-year-old. Scott threw him a little bit of everything, and he hung in there. He fouled off some tough pitches, got one he could handle, and drove that ball on a line over Josh's head in right center field. 9 pitches. That was the 10th pitch that the 9th pitch that he saw in that at bat.
Nice effort by Josh. Just missed it.
Well, that was close. Well, the Orioles back on top by a run, and now the Rangers will pull the infield all the way in with 1 out, and Nick Markakis at the plate. Markakis 1 out of 2. Right back to Feldman. Reacts to the ball well and checks the runner back to third. He throwing out Markakis. Good pitch by Feldman.
He accomplished exactly what he wanted to. He ran the cutter right in on the fist. Markakis swung at the first pitch he saw. A little jam shot right back to Scott.
This is called making a pitch when you absolutely have to make one.
You're right about that.
Got a very good left-handed hitter up there. Can hit the ball on the ground, hit the ball in the air, hit the ball out of the ballpark, and you get in on him like that at the first pitch. That's a pretty good pitch.
Now Feldman will face J.J. Hardy, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Fly ball and a strikeout. Feldman will still work from the stretch with 2 outs. Machado the runner at third. Breaking ball gets by Soto, but just a little bit, so Machado is not able to advance from third base. 1 ball, no strikes.
Soto did a good job keeping that ball from getting to the backstop.
Soto kind of peering around J.J. Hardy to see what the runner down at third is doing, and Machado. Feldman with a 1-0. And he fires a strike to even the count. Now, J.J. Hardy, a guy that in situations like this might change a little bit. He's primarily a pull hitter most of the time. This might be a situation where he'd look to go the other way to drive in a critical run. That breaking ball, and it's a cut fastball, I guess it was. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Look at the Ranger defense. Step or so around to the left side for him, both infield and outfield. The 1-2 on the way. To right field, that's a base hit. Machado scores. Cruz can't cut it off. It goes off his glove, so into second base goes J.J. Hardy. A big RBI base hit for him, and the Orioles now lead 3-1. That's going to be a double for Hardy and an RBI, and a big one.
He kept it away. Ball's barely touching the strike zone. It's up a little bit, but nice job by Hardy. Reached out, stroked it that way.
So Hardy drives in his 50th run of the year. He's in scoring position now for Nate McLouth, who is 0 for 1. Chop foul, and Feldman the advantage in the count. McLouth back in the first walked with 2 outs. He immediately stole second, went to third on a throwing error by Giovanni Soto, and scored a couple of pitches later as Scott Feldman uncorked a wild pitch. One ball, 1 strike. Hardy, the runner at second. Elvis playing behind him, shading up the middle just a little bit with McLouth at the plate. And Scott Feldman really taking a long time between pitches.
I think a little too long, a little bit longer than normal.
The ballpark will not hold that McLouth bomb. Upper tank, and the Orioles lead 5-1. Nate McLouth with his first home run in an Oriole uniform, and Baltimore has put 4 on the board here in the 5th inning.
They just left that pitch out over the plate. Looked like a cutter. Just didn't get it down, didn't get it in. Trying to get it in just like he did to Markakis, but unfortunately that one just spun and never moved in. Stayed right in the middle of the plate.
You know, Mike Maddox out to have a talk with Scott Feldman and Giovanni Soto. And Scott talking to himself now after Maddox left and Soto went back behind the plate. And Michael Kirkman, the left-hander, started throwing in the Ranger bullpen. So base is empty now. 4 runs across in the inning. And Adam Jones up for the 3rd time. Jones, a line drive to left and a strikeout. 1 ball, no strikes. And 2-0.
Be a 97th pitch for Scott in the 5th inning.
And ball 3 is low. Estimated distance on the McLeod home run, 393 feet into the first row of the upper deck. Big blow in this ball game. And Feldman throws a strike to make it 3-1. Now, 3 of the 4 runs in the inning have scored after 2 were out. And you're talking about that big pitch that Feldman made to Markakis, Mac, and he wasn't able to follow it up.
No, it's about execution. He executed the pitch to Markakis, but not to McLeod.
Count has now gone full to Adam Jones. Does it seem like we have seen more 2-out damage against Ranger pitchers this year than normal? Or not? Am I just imagining that?
No, I think we've seen a lot of it, and I don't really know the reason. I don't know if there's a letdown when the pitcher gets to 2 outs, or especially in a big situation there, you get Markakis out, and okay, I've got 2 outs, I can let up a little bit.
Andrews into the hole, sets himself, throws low, but it's dug out by Mitch Moreland. Side retire, but not before the Orioles come up with 4 runs on 4 hits. Leave no one aboard. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now the Orioles 5, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. It was the Rangers' record for most runs in a game is 30. That against Baltimore back in 07 was the most in an inning. April 19th, 1996. Rangers scored 16 against these Orioles here. This ballpark, 26-7. The final score in that ball game.
I think that was the day. Boy, that day Kevin Elster hit a grand slam against that little shortstop they had, Manny. Can't even think. I took Cal Ripken's place at shortstop.
Oh, yeah, I know Manny. Alexander.
Manny Alexander. I might be wrong on that, but it seems like he came in to pitch and Kevin took him deep.
Well, David Murphy up there.
Kevin Elster? You ever hear anything from Kevin Elster?
I have not. It's been a long time.
Yeah, usually you hear things about ex-players. I haven't heard anything about him either.
Wouldn't surprise me if Ellie's in L.A. acting or something.
A flair for the dramatic?
Yes.
Yeah. Murphy fouls the next pitch away, and the count is even at 2-2.
Good dramatic.
Not many ninth place hitters that knocked in whatever he did that year. 95 runs.
That was nice. A lot of fun.
Tillman back to the plate, and Murphy can't lay off that high fastball, and Tillman gets his 4th strikeout of the night. One away for Giovanni Soto. So Tillman with a 4-run advantage now.
He's had 4 strikeouts. Every one of them has been a borderline strike and a swing and a miss.
Soto, a fly ball to center field, his first time to the plate. And he takes a breaking ball in and over. It's 0-2.
Buzz, we were talking about tempo and Scott Feldman's tempo being a little bit slow. If you look at Tillman's tempo, he's getting the ball going right back after him. And now, as an offense, what I'd like to try and do when I see a guy, you know, we've only gotten a couple of hits, is break up that tempo.
Right.
Slow him down, step out, do something. Don't let that, you don't want that pitcher to get into that rhythm where he's feeling good, where he can just get the ball and throw and he's pounding the strike zone, strike after strike. You want to kind of break it up a little bit.
And from a defensive side, you love to have a guy doing that.
Absolutely.
When he gets that lead for the first time and going back out there and pumping strikes, working quick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tillman was the guy that was on the mound a couple of years ago when Cliff Lee made his Ranger debut and got lit up pretty well by the Orioles. Soto pops one up, shallow right field. Quintanilla going out. Markakis coming on, and I got it, you take it. And Markakis finally said, the heck with it, I'll take it. Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda CX-5 game break with Rick Renner. Rick? All right, Rick, thank you. 2 gone. Mitch Moreland, the hitter. Well, Euclid, we talked about him a little bit, Tom. Really has made a difference in that White Sox team. That seems to have really been a spark for them since he came over from the Red Sox. Boy, Mitch is lining one right back up the middle for a 2-out single.
Well, they had a young third baseman who was struggling, and they replaced him with a fiery veteran who came in and got big hits for him and played some solid defense. And I think he has been a real shot in the arm and a boost for the White Sox.
Well, just the 3rd Ranger hit of the night off of Chris Tillman. 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and Ian Kinsler comes to the plate. Kins solo home run in the 3rd. His 14th of the year. That tied the ball game, and then the Orioles came back in the top of the 5th and opened up with a 4 spot. The AT&T Uverse reverse replay. Kinsler got that fastball down and out over the plate a little bit. We'll see you later. 0-1 pitch coming from Tillman. And Kinsler drive to left center field. This one, however, looks like it'll be playable for McLeod, who stops shy of the warning track and puts it away. No runs to hit, 1 left. 5 in the books. 5-1 Orioles. And Mac, thanks for joining us. Mark McLemore after the ball game, joining for Rangers Live.
See you later.
All right. brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Now, Scott Feldman's night has come to an end after 5 innings of work. Feldman allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 7 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And the left-hander, Michael Kirkman, has now come in to take over on the hill.
Last couple of times Michael's pitched, he's been in key situations, short relief stints late in a ball game. This one is more of the long variety, potentially long variety.
And Matt Wieters, the first hitter he will face. Wieters turning around to hit from the right side against the left-hander Kirkman.
Bullpen's had gotten a good rest the last couple of games. Matt Harrison pitched 8 innings. Ryan Dempster pitched 8 innings. Saw Mark Lowe for 1 inning in the last game in Toronto. And we saw Joe Nathan yesterday. The rest of the guys have had a couple of days off, so they're well rested out there. There's Matt. Mike Napoli working steadily to get off the disabled list. Mike Olt talking a little baseball. Or maybe fantasy football. Who knows? Or what's on the spread for after the game?
That could be.
The extra guy, when I played with the Mets, there was about 4 of us that were extra guys. One of them was a guy named Sergio Ferrer. And when Joe Torre wasn't looking late in the game, when the last out was made, we'd have a sprint for the spread. That last first one to the food wins.
Wieters a pop-up down the left field line. Elvis Andrus sliding in foul territory and makes the grab. Oh, that is some kind of coverage down there by Elvis Andrus. He wasn't real thrilled with the way that warning track, though, felt on his knee as he slid there.
It's an easier play for the shortstop. He has a better angle than the third baseman, who's got to go straight back for it. It's easier to run fast in that direction than it is to go straight back. And he's younger, so he should make that play.
That could be what Adrian was telling him that on the way back.
Well, Adrian made a nice play last night going down the line.
The 1 gone. And now Chris Davis. Davis 1 out of 2 tonight, a single and a strikeout. Rangers again putting the overshift on for the left-handed power hitter.
Want to send some good wishes and some good karma to Scott Burchett. Scott is the son of our director Dave. He's recovering at home nicely. Scott, hope you're watching. Hope you're feeling better. Your dad is thinking about you, and all of us are too. I know it's been a tough time for you, but glad you're doing well.
Throw my 2 cents in there too. Same thing for me, Scott. We're all sending our very best wishes to you, and anything we can do, please let us know. We're behind you 100%. Kirkman with a 1-1 count to Chris Davis. Orioles leading 5-1. They've out hit the Rangers 7-3 tonight. Davis up the middle, but right there is Elvis Andrus. That ball came off the mound and kind of kangarooed up in the air before Elvis had to charge it a little bit. So with 2 outs, before Mark Reynolds steps in, let's go over to Jim Knox one more time. Jim?
All right, thanks, Buzz. The Fox Sports Southwest Fan Express rolled in. Hey, groups, come on in, buddy. They rolled in early this afternoon. That's right, courtesy 1310 The Ticket in Dallas. Great radio station on hand, a packed house, including Sam, who just gave groups a kiss right there. How was the bus ride over?
Luxurious, in fact.
Anything missing, Big Sam?
Danny Bayless, Groobs, and Eric Nadell, and Nazi!
There we go. All right. Well, good to have you here. Maybe next time around we're on the bus. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good seeing you, Chris. All right, Buzz.
All right, Jimmy. Reynolds tried to check his swing and couldn't quite get it done as Kirkman pulled the string on him. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Reynolds a fly ball to left and a single to left field. 1 for 2, currently hitting at 224. Good breaking ball from Kirkman. A ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander back to the plate. And tried that back foot breaking ball, which almost turned into a literal back foot breaking ball. Reynolds had to move his right foot out of the way quickly. That evens the count at 2-2. Talking about Reynolds last year with 37 home runs, the most by a Baltimore Oriole since Albert Bell had a similar number back in 1999. Moreland right at the railing, reaches in and could not make the play. Fans got to leave him alone down there. Let him make that catch.
Well, they whiffed. They probably got in Mitch's way, but they all whiffed on it. No one touched it, I don't think.
Kirkman got away with a high breaking ball there as Reynolds fouled it back. It's still 2-2. Kirkman set and to the plate. Got him swinging. Good fastball thrown right on by Reynolds. 1-2-3 inning for Michael Kirkman and the Rangers. 5.5 in the books. 5-1 Baltimore on Fox Sports Southwest. Inning brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $600 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for John Ross from Sherman. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, John Ross from Sherman will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. It'll be these numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Rangers to begin things against Chris Tillman Elvis Andrus tonight 0 for 2. Tapped back to the box last time up and drove the ball hard to right field, but had no luck getting it by Markakis back in the first inning. And he takes a pitch low and outside for ball 1. Tillman with his 75th pitch of the night. And he drops a breaking ball in to even things at 1-1. Rangers with 3 hits tonight off Tillman, 1 in the second, the home run in the third by Kinsler, and then a single with 2 outs in the 5th inning. So Tillman has not given the Rangers much of an opportunity to do any damage against him. Just 1 walk tonight for the 24-year-old right-hander, and that was to Nelly Cruz in the 4th inning. 1-2 pitch. We were talking last night about the Baltimore bullpen. It's not something you want to try and come back too much against. There's that high fastball again, and that's 5 strikeouts. And Tom, you pointed out after the 4th strikeout, they have all been on the high fastball, and that still holds true.
They're all swinging. They're all high fastballs. Most of them have been out of the strike zone. But this tough pitch against Tillman, evidently to lay off of, because a number of guys have done it. Yeah, I think, Buzz, when you talk about the bullpen, you can look at any stat you want with the Orioles, except for home runs. They have more home runs than their opponent, 150 to 140, and they have 41 saves to 27 saves, and a solid bullpen. Probably bullpen ERA would be better than their opponents. But virtually any other statistic you want to look at, on base percentage, slugging percentage, they've made more errors, they've hit into more double plays, they haven't stolen as many bases, they've struck out more, they don't walk as much, they've been hit by fewer pitches, they score a ton of fewer runs. There's another high fastball. Pitching wise, their ERA is higher. They've given up more hits, more runs, they walk more, they don't strike out as much. All those stats go against them, and they're 10 games over 500. That's what you were talking about earlier. The stats just don't add up. There's no way to look at it and see how they could be 10 games over 500 other than they hit home runs and they've got a great bullpen.
So 2 gone on punch outs, and Beltre takes the pitch low and outside for ball 1. Yeah, and, you know, you can crunch those numbers all you want, and it just doesn't add up on paper anyway to being 9 or 10 games over 500, but the Orioles are. And Beltre shoots one to right field, high in the air, down the line, into the corner. Markakis right at the wall, and it's off the top of the railing up there. And it will be 1 ball, 1 strike to Beltre.
Yeah, the one stat, a couple of stats where they have excelled, extra inning games, they're 12-2. 1-run games, they're 23-6, and 2-run games, they're 19-12. So they have won a lot of close games. 12-2 in extra innings is unusual. 23-6 in 1-run games is exceptional.
The 2-1 pitch to Adrian. That ball's hit well to left center field. In a hurry is Jones. He won't get there. 1 hop, and it kind of goes by him as he overran it a bit. And into second with a 2-out double, Adrian Beltre, his 2nd hit of the night. And he becomes the first hitter the Rangers have had in scoring position this evening. Nelly Cruz will get an opportunity to bat with a runner in scoring position, the first chance the Rangers have had all night. Matt Wieters out to say something to Chris Tillman as Adrian Beltre talks to Omar Quintanilla at second. Cruz steps to the plate 0 for 1. A walk and a strikeout. Rangers trying to come back from 4 runs down. Trailing 5-1. as Tillman comes to the plate and throws strike one. Mentioned Nelly Cruz with a 3-game streak of having driven in and scored a run in each of those 3. Check swing on the breaking ball. He did not go around. The appeal down to first base umpire Todd Tishner. And he said, nope, no swing. It's 1-1.
Definitely a good call.
Cruz, a rocket that has to skip over by Beltre, and boy, the sure-handed J.J. Hardy takes care of that. Cruz hit it on the button, but nothing to show for it. One left. On to the 7th we go. 5-1 Baltimore on Fox Sports Southwest. West is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo, a no-nonsense burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. A good crowd on hand here tonight, and they have seen the Baltimore Orioles putting it on the Rangers. Rangers not able to get much done against Chris Tillman. The Ian Kinsler's solo home run has been it. So the Orioles come to bat against Michael Kirkman with Omar Quintanilla to start things off. Quintanilla, Machado, and Markakis. It's fouled out of play to the left. Quintanilla reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th inning, came around to score. He's 0 for 2 officially tonight. That batting mark dropping down to 271. Check swing, and he went around. Quintanilla picked up from the Mets by the Orioles for cash considerations. In other words, the Mets sold him to the Orioles back on July 20th. One ball, 2 strikes. And a home run back on the 14th against Boston for the Orioles, and since then he is 0 for 16. I think little guys hitting home runs, it gets them in bad habits. I think they can hit home runs every time they go up there.
Yeah, sometimes you hear people say the worst thing he can do is hit a home. And I'm not talking about Quintanilla, but
right.
A player who's not a home run hitter. The worst thing he can do is hit a home run. because it feels pretty good, and then you alter your swing to try to do it again, and you go against your strengths.
And he takes that pitch for a called third strike on the outside corner. Well, Kirkman back-to-back strikeouts. That's how the 7th inning begins for Michael, and Manny Machado coming up. Well, folks, sign up for the Texas Rangers Inside Pitch e-newsletter and have everything you need to know about special offers, events, and the latest news delivered to your email inbox. Registration is free and easy at texasrangers.com. Machado 2 for 2 tonight. He has singled and tripled. Driven in a run. 20-year-old third baseman, and actually a shortstop by trade, but the transition to third has been fairly seamless, according to the Orioles folks. Of course, they felt that part of the Oriole problem with all of the errors, the Orioles have 94 errors this year, that's the most in the major leagues, was not helped by having Wilson Betemit playing out of position at third base. They felt that Betemit needed to go somewhere else, be more effective, and Machado done pretty well. He's going to sky out here to Nelly Cruz, and that is out number 2.
5 up, 5 down with 2 strikeouts for Michael. Coming in and throwing the ball well again.
Well, folks, Fox Sports Southwest and 105.3 The Fan are calling on you to save 1,000 each Friday this month. Saving 1,000 is a traveling blood drive to help save 1,000 lives through blood donation. 154 donors gave blood at Tarrant County on Friday, and our total lives saved after 3 weeks stands at 693 with 2 Fridays to go. This Friday, go to the Tico Arts Theater in the Bishop Arts District in Dallas from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and help us save 1,000. Oh, and 1 the count to Nick Markakis, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Ripping a miss on the high fastball. Well, Michael Kirkman doing a good job. All of his pitches tonight seem to be effective, getting the breaking ball over, and that fastball has some good late life to it. Left-hander from Lake City, Florida, back to the plate.
You really look at Michael and say he's one of those guys with a mid-90s fastball, the curveball that he's got. Once he gains the confidence and the ability to be consistent, make the pitches, throw it where he wants to, he could just take off. How many guys have the same raw stuff that he does?
Right. Especially a left-hander. You don't see many left-handers that throw with that combination of a hard breaking ball and that kind of a fastball moving.
Well, that last one, 97.
Yeah. 2-2 the count to Markakis. Bases empty, 2 away, top of the 7th inning. Three hopper hit out to Elvis, and that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kirkman and the Rangers. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Arlington. It's stretch time. Rangers need to stretch out a little bit and get some runs on the board. They trail 5-1. Chase Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo, a no-nonsense burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. Rangers come to bat on the bottom of the sixth, their seventh, trailing 5-1. They have had just 4 hits off of Chris Tillman through the first 6 innings. And Michael Young will step in 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a fly ball to right. And he looks at strike 1 from the 6'5" right-hander.
You have to be pretty impressed with him. 4 hits, one of them was the home run by Kinsler, and a very effective fastball.
It looks like he's able to throw it down in the zone and then elevate it when he wants to. At least he has on most occasions tonight. I think you've seen a shot from our center field camera as Michael fouls it off. When Wieters is giving some of the signs for fastballs, he'll turn his hand over and kind of motion his fingers like he wants that fastball up out of the zone.
Well, it looks like that, Buzz, because so many of the strikeouts with 2 strikes have been up like that. So it definitely looks like that.
It's up and away.
Up with 2 strikes.
Yep. A ball and 2 strikes to Young. Slow topper to third. Machado gloves, throws, and gets him. Nice play by the Young third baseman. One away, David Murphy coming up. Let's go down to Emily Jones again. Emily?
Well, the hottest hitter in the Rangers lineup approaching the plate, David Murphy, with 12 doubles. That leads the major league since July 24th. He says when things are going well, even the hard things come easy.
Sometimes good things happen, and I like when I'm getting breaks, especially when I can drive in a run and help the team out. But I don't know. I'm trying to get better every single day, every single year, and I feel like I'm a better player this year than I was last year.
And Murph went on to say that it's the biggest difference for him this season has been the increased focus that he's had from seasons past and trying to maintain that steady play from day to day.
Nice timing, Emily, because that worked out real well right there. A little 1-out single by David Murphy. 1 on, 1 out, and we'll now head back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a game break with Rick Renner. Rick? All right, Rick, thank you. David Murphy with the 5th hit of the night by the Rangers off of Chris Tillman. He is aboard at first base. Giovanni Soto, a couple of fly ball outs tonight. Rangers trying to make some noise here in the 7th inning. Ball in the dirt and getting away from Wieters. Down to second is Murphy. He will make a turn there. But Wieters able to capture that over by the Ranger on deck circle. So the wild pitch gets David Murphy into scoring position. And the count of 2 balls and no strikes to Soto. So the 2nd straight inning now. The Rangers have had a runner in scoring position. They were 0 for 1 last inning. At their first at bat with a runner in scoring position of the night. So Soto has another opportunity here in the 7th. That ball's hammered to left field. Going back is McLeod. Goodbye. Giovanni Soto is 2nd Ranger home run. It's a 5-3 Baltimore lead.
That makes it a whole different ball game now. A couple innings to go. Giovanni turned a 5-1 game and a comfortable Oriole lead into anything but that. Similar type home runs. He hit one about a couple of rows back. Giovanni maybe a little bit more of a line drive, but both of the pitches were fastballs down in the zone. Good swing right there because that was a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And he really turned on it.
Well, he turned that 2-0 fastball around like he knew it was coming, and I'm sure he was figuring with a 5-1 score that he was going to get a fastball in that count, and Tillman obliged.
Yeah, he might not have known it, but he thought it. He was thinking it.
And the former Ranger Darren O'Day getting loose out of the left center field Oriole bullpen. 370 feet on the line drive off the bat of Giovanni Soto. No, base is empty, still one away, and here's Mitch Moreland. Strike one. Rangers' second home run of the night. They have now hit 141 as a team this year. And Mitch, a good rip at that fastball, but he's down in the count. It's 0-2. Moreland 1 out of 2 tonight. Ground ball to second, and he singled to center field. Got him swinging. Pretty good hook from Chris Tillman. And that's his 7th strikeout of the night. 2 away and back to the top of the order for Ian Kinsler, and it will not be Chris Tillman to face Kinsler. Buck Showalter, the walk out to the mound, a very purposeful walk. And he wants the right-hander Darren O'Day to come on here in the 7th inning when the base is empty and 2 away. So Tillman finished after 6 2/3, and Darren O'Day will make his way in from the left center field bullpen. We'll take a short timeout. Be right back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Continues as Joe Mauer and the Twins head to Arlington to take on the AL West leading Rangers. Fox Saturday baseball telecast presented by Budweiser begins at 2:30 Central, only on Fox. Now Darren O'Day, former Ranger, coming on to face Ian Kinsler. A couple of runs across for the Rangers on the 2-run home run from Giovanni Soto. See the numbers on Darren.
Yep, Darren's pitching just like he did in his heyday for the Rangers. He was a good, solid reliever for the Rangers, and he's right back on track right now. Strikeout per inning. Not many walks. Opponent's batting average around 215. Toward the end of Darren's stint with the Rangers, he was giving up a lot of home runs. Looks like he's corrected that fault now, though.
Ian Kinsler 1 out of 2 against O'Day in his career, and he gets the slider on the first pitch. It is strike one.
Darren will get ahead of you with his slider, and then when it's 0-2 or 1-2, he likes to throw the high fastball up and away. and gets a lot of swings and misses on that after you've seen the slower pitches.
There's another slider, and that's just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kinsler. Ian with a solo home run in the third, his 14th of the year. Other than that, he has popped out and flied to left field. O'Day back to the plate. Another off-speed pitch. That's inside. And it's 2-1. O'Day has a signing once. And Kinsler tops one foul toward the Oriole dugout. That will even the count at 2-2. The Rangers playing long ball after not having any last night in that 5-1 victory. Able to get a couple of them tonight. And trying to chip their way back into this ball game. There's that high fastball.
That's the high fastball.
Yeah. You know, after you see all the other stuff, that thing's got to look like it's 98 miles an hour coming up.
Yeah, it looks good to hit, and then it's a little bit high, a little bit out of the strike zone, and a little sneakier than you thought it was going to be.
Well, the count has gone full. O'Day ready. And the payoff pitch. Slider outside, ball 4. Great job working that walk by Ian Kinsler, and I'm going to think that Buck Showalter's looking at that and saying, you know, most guys that O'Day faces will swing at that 3-2 slider there.
I don't know how he didn't swing at it. It wasn't outside by more than a few inches.
So a very big walk with 2 outs because that makes Elvis Andrus at home plate the tying run in this game.
I'm swinging at it. And it was definitely outside by about the width of a baseball.
Andrus 0 for 3. Kinsler a pretty good lead, and Elvis swinging at that first pitch, chopped it foul at home plate. 0-1 the count. Elvis only 1 previous at bat against his former teammate Darren O'Day. He grounded out in that at bat. That was the series in Baltimore back in May. O'Day okays the sign. Kinsler a pretty good lead at first. And O'Day will go that way. Elvis back in the box. He is ready to go, and O'Day okays the sign from Wieters. The 0-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit right field. Kinsler will stop at second base, and the Rangers have the tying runs on base with Josh Hamilton coming to the plate.
Well, that's what you want. You start the inning down 5-1. You would love to say Josh will come to the plate as the tying run, but it won't be against Darren O'Day. Darren was the guy who hit his 4th home run against, wasn't it?
Certainly was. And I think that's probably one of the things right at the top of Buck Showalter's mind right now as he goes out to get the ball from Darren O'Day. So that's going to do it for the submarining O'Day. He's going to leave the ball game after giving up a walk and a single. So the tying runs are on base. New pitcher coming on to face Josh Hamilton. And while he makes his way in, we will take another timeout on Fox Sports Southwest. And misses outside with a fastball. It's 1-0.
Yeah, exceptional numbers for Strop. He's got a mid-90s fastball and a real good splitter. Got the second best relief ERA in the American League right now.
And Josh takes a little bit low. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Off that low sinker.
Hamilton tonight has struck out twice and grounded to short. He's got Kinsler at second, Andrus at first. And the fans at Rangers Ballpark really getting into it now. They've seen the Rangers score twice and are threatening for more. The 2-0 pitch.
Yeah, I don't know about that call.
And I think Josh would agree with you. He's not so sure about it either.
He's got pretty good movement. Looks like it moved outside. I think Brian Gorman saw that pitch while it was in the strike zone and called it a little bit before that late movement brought it out of the strike zone.
Hamilton takes low. It's 3-1. Strop missing a bit to Hamilton. He's fallen behind. Josh 12 behind his last 13 ball games. And the crowd really starting to make some noise now. Jeff Morgan imploring the crowd, make noise, and they are responding. The 3-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Did he appeal down to third base umpire Bob Davidson? He rang that right hand up. That's one of those check swings you were talking about, Tom. It's tough to tell when your body changes all that, too.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
He came pretty close to stopping it. I think on that hard breaking ball that's almost a wild pitch, Josh 3-1 just made up his mind it was going to be a fastball for a strike, and he was going to get out in front and drive it somewhere.
So 3-2 with 2 outs. The runners on the move. Payoff pitch hit high in the air to right field, but that is going to hook foul and way up into the second deck.
Boy, he threw him. It looked like he threw him a splitter and got away with it. It was far enough inside to where Josh pulled it foul.
So the crowd regaining their breath.
Strop gets away with that thing, whatever it was. Off speed pitch up and in.
Went a long way, I know that. Right-handers ready again, and again the 3-2 coming. Got him swinging. Down and in, that great off-speed pitch, and Hamilton strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Well, the Rangers score a couple. They had 3 hits, they strand 2. We're going to the 8th inning. Baltimore 5 and Texas 3 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Texas 5-3. Buzz and Tom, time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Ranger Trooper in this getup all game long, standing here over the Orioles bullpen. How long did it take you to make this costume?
It took about 2 months to paint.
You need a deeper voice as a trooper.
Took about 2 months.
There we go. All right, you got anything anything else you'd like to say?
May the force be with the Ranger.
All right, deeper voice, come on.
May the force
There
be
you
with
go.
the Ranger.
Here's the bag. Congratulations, Ranger Trooper, Progressive Fan of the Game. Way to go.
All right, Jim. Ranger Trooper, huh? All right. J.J. Hardy starting things off in the 8th inning for Baltimore. And the new pitcher, right-hander Tanner Shepers, has come in for the Rangers. Third Ranger employed tonight by Ron Washington. You get an idea of what Tanner Shepers has been doing, and it's gotten much better of late even. Chopper Beltre to his left, stops, and throws out Hardy. Holy cow.
Ball just goes right in the center of his glove. Doesn't matter how it bounces. Most guys would catch that ball and kind of keep on moving with their feet to get some momentum to make the throw to first base. Adrian just catches the ball, turns, and flat-footed comes to a dead stop and fires it over to first base.
Wow. One away. Here's Nate McLeod, whose 2-run home run now stands as the difference in this ball game. That was a 2-out shot off of Scott Feldman in the 5th inning. Capped off that 4-run Oriole outburst. Good breaking ball from Shepers, and he's very quickly on top of the count. No balls, 2 strikes. McLeod officially tonight 1 for 2. And he pulls this one foul. I think the numbers really don't do justice for how well Tanner Shepers has pitched in the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's been put in some big spots, and he has responded extremely well. 1-2 now. And the count is even to McLeod at 2 balls, 2 strikes. McLeod spending all of his time in the National League split between Atlanta and Pittsburgh. His first American League action, he takes inside, the breaking ball miss. So he has worked the count from 0-2 back to a full count against Tanner Shepers. Right-hander winds, and the payoff pitch. That's out of play to the left. McLeod trying to get aboard here in the 8th inning. Adam Jones, the cleanup man and center fielder in the on-deck circle. High fly ball, shallow left field, coming on David Murphy. That is out number 2. So Shepers able to get McLeod on the second 3-2 pitch. Now he will face Adam Jones, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Michael Kirkman worked the 6th and 7th inning in perfect fashion. A couple of strikeouts for the left-hander. And Tanner Shepers has retired the first 2 hitters he has faced. Swing and a miss. That sharp breaking ball from Shepers. You think he was looking for a fastball?
I think he probably looking for an inside fastball.
And there's an inside breaking ball, and he wasn't looking for that. He took that.
Might have had a chance of hitting that the first time. At least that was on the inside part of the plate.
Yep. Get out of there. I was going to hit him. Now the 0-2 from Shepers. Little tapper down the third baseline. That's going to stay fair. Once it got on the grass, it wasn't going anywhere. And all Giovanni Soto can do is pick it up and hand it to Brian Gorman, the umpire. About a 28-foot single for Adam Jones. He is aboard with 2 outs. Matt Wieters coming up. A swinging bunt, and not even a very hard bunt at that. Ranger fans have seen that happen an awful lot with Ranger hitters, where the ball gets on that grass and will not roll into foul territory. It stays right there, and Adam Jones taking advantage of it. So here's Wieters, who again will switch sides, going back to the left side of home plate against the right-hander Shepard. And he takes a strike. And Oakland has come back to tie that score, and they are still hitting in the second inning. 1-1 as the Twins won last night's contest 6-2. Shepard's a long hold. Now he goes first base way. And that drives Jones back. Wieters has popped out, lined out, and struck out tonight. Jones with very good speed. Not going anywhere. A little tapper right back to Shepard. He'll run halfway to first and underhanded to Moreland, and that will do it. No runs, a hit, and one left. Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the eighth. Beltre, Cruz, and Young trailing by 2. Matchup brought to you by Chevron. The left-hander Derek Holland against former Ranger Tommy Hunter. Holland coming in at 7-6, a 498 earned run average, and 4-7 the record for Hunter with a 549 earned run average. Final game of this 3-game series, and the Rangers in the next couple of innings will determine whether it's for the sweep or the rubber game of the 3-game series. They right now trail 5-3, and Derek Holland watching on to see if he can't pick up anything that hitters are showing him tonight that the man to his left, Ryan Dempster, didn't see last night. Ryan Dempster just outstanding against the Orioles last night. Shutting him down for 8 innings on 4 hits and 1 lone run. Here's Adrian Beltre, and Pedro Strop back to the hill, throws a breaking ball for strike 1. Beltre 2 for 3 tonight, a single and a double. Now hitting at 304 as he faces Strop. Hard hit ground ball, but right at Hardy. Hardy, the best fielding shortstop in the American League, and that is out number 1. Beltre retired. Nelly Cruz coming up. And let's go over to the Captain Morgan Club and see what John Radigan has planned for Rangers Live after the ball game.
Yeah, hanging out here alone for now, but we'll have Mark McLemore with us, as you know, Buzz. He'll bring us post-game analysis. We will get post-game reaction from the clubhouse and set up the finale. We'll hear from Tommy Hunter about facing his former teammates tomorrow. That's all coming up. Rangers Live coming your way right after the game, guys.
All right, John, thank you. Here's Nelly Cruz, and the first pitch to him is a fastball that's inside for ball one. Cruz 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Strop back to him. Good breaking ball, and Nelly not able to lay off it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strop with a high set. And Cruz a rip and a foul tip. Got a pretty good chunk of Matt Wieder's chin, it looked like. Checking to make sure it was still attached. And pitch inside. That's going to be a ball called by Brian Gorman for quick pitching the hitter. And Buck Showalter can come out and find out why. With nobody on, you're not obligated to pause. And Brian Gorman saying, well, no, that's not the intent. The intent of the rule is to not have a hitter be deceived like that. So he can call the ball on that. And Brian Gorman explaining that to Buck Showalter, and Buck says something like, show me the rule. He's going to call a quick pitch. And Strop had been stopping, and this time he doesn't stop. It's just a semi windup. And Brian Gorman said, nope, that's not, we're not going to allow that. So it's 2-2. And it's chopped foul. And I'm kind of with Buck on that argument.
Yeah, with no one on base.
No, nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Remember how Jim Cott used to do that?
I do.
I mean, that may be the rule, but with nobody on base, I don't see anything wrong with it. Just got to be ready as a hitter.
And Cruz takes the pitch low and outside. The count has gone full. So Nelly trying to get aboard with 1 out. Michael Young waiting in the on-deck circle. If Cruz gets aboard, Young will represent the tying run in this game. Now Strop is set. And the payoff pitch. Inside and low, ball 4, and Cruz draws the walk, his second of the night. And Michael Young will come to the plate as the tying run here in the 8th inning. You know, one of the things I think that frustrated the Rangers so much about Pedro Strop was his inconsistency, not able to master the strike zone from hitter to hitter. And he apparently had found the answer to that going over to Baltimore after he went over to Baltimore. But Rangers working for a walk with 1 out in the 8th inning. And Michael comes to the plate 0 for 3. Young sends it to center. Adam Jones going back. The ball not carrying out there that way tonight, though. He makes the catch, and back to first goes Cruz. There are 2 outs, and David Murphy coming to the plate.
I'd like to see where some of these balls would have gone on nights where the jet stream was in effect, but tonight it's a cool night. Right now there's no wind, and so 404 feet is a lot longer tonight than it normally is. Looked like Michael hit that ball pretty well, but didn't even get to the warning track.
Not much of a breeze, air kind of heavy, a coolish evening for latter stages of August. Here's Murph, who is 1 for 3, and he takes the pitch outside for ball 1. Murphy last time up singled to right field, and that came ahead of Giovanni Soto's 2-run home run. Cruz the runner at first. 1-0 pitch from Strop. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Strop and Murphy have never had a matchup in regular season play. Pedro back to the plate and throws an off-speed pitch that just does catch the bottom of the strike zone. David Murphy didn't particularly agree with the call by Ryan Gorman.
That's the same thing he did with Hamilton. 2-0 to Hamilton. He threw him a breaking ball in the dirt. Got Josh to swing at it. In a game like this, not wanting to give the left-handers a fastball to hit in a fastball count.
Way inside. Nice stop by Matt Wieters. And the count has gone to 3-1.
See what he does, 3-1. 2-0. He threw him a breaking ball, 3-1. Same situation. 2-run game. Guy with some power at the plate. Looking for a fastball. Let's see if he throws him a fastball.
That's what Matt Wieters wants.
Looks like it.
The 3-1. Swung on and lined down the left field line, but it's slicing and it was about 5 feet foul. Short hops off the sidewall, and we'll come back and try it now with a 3-2 count. And one advantage the Rangers will have here is that with 2 outs, Nelly Cruz will get a head start. He'll be able to move as soon as Strop goes into his motion. And Mark Reynolds, the first baseman, reminding Pedro Strop that he's going to play behind him now. He's not going to hold him on. Nelly Cruz winding up the motor. And Strop comes set. There goes Cruz. The 3-2 pitch is chopped foul. Well, a good job by David Murphy on that off-speed pitch of just staying alive. That's one of the things that Murph has been able to do so well in the last month or so is foul off tough pitches when he had 2 strikes on him. Get an opportunity to see another one. He will see that right here. Cruz with the lead. He's going. Again, the 3-2. And a chopper to first. Reynolds backs up, plays the big hop, takes it to the bag himself, and that'll do it. The Rangers strand a runner. We're going to the 9th in Arlington. It's the Orioles 5, the Rangers 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Twins, it's a 2:05 start, and it's Bluebell Ice Cream Sunday for kids 13 and under. Why not try to squeeze in one more afternoon of summer before school starts and enjoy $1 Bluebell ice cream for kids at Rangers Ballpark. Good seats are still available at TexasRangers.com. A crowd of 32,146 on hand tonight, and they will watch Robbie Ross enter the ball game and pitch the 9th inning for the Rangers.
Yep, and when you look at Robbie's numbers for a rookie left-hander, you're certainly pleased to see those numbers. A lot of innings too, 56 innings. Got a chance to pitch maybe 68 or 70 innings, which is a lot of innings in relief.
First hitter he will face is Chris Davis. And Ross throws a strike on the outside corner. Davis 1 for 3 tonight. And batting average .251. Fouls the next pitch away as Ross came in with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And Robbie has the advantage in the count at 0-2. Ross, the 23-year-old Kentuckian. Into the wind, and the pitch is high. Orioles about hit the Rangers tonight, but just by an 8-7 margin. And Davis again fouls away to the left. Orioles bunching 4 of their 8 hits in that fifth inning, the 4-run fifth inning. Rangers, meanwhile, haven't been able to get a whole lot going. Pitch inside, and it's 2-2. Other than the home run ball tonight.
Close.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ross back to the plate, and again the foul ball to the left. Got him swinging. Ross at 93 put a little bit of extra on it. And Chris Davis not able to catch up. That is out number 1. It'll bring up Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, that's good velocity and a lot of movement on that cutter to have that velocity.
Robbie, who has been a little bit off the last few times out, primarily because he couldn't get that cutter where he wanted it. Looks like he's gotten himself back in pretty good form here, and he throws a strike to Reynolds. It's 0-1. And it wasn't like Robbie was throwing the ball over the ballpark. It was just he was off enough to get behind hitters, which is something he didn't do at all the first 3 months of the season. 0-1 pitch, and it's 0-2. But every pitcher goes through spurts like that where things don't work quite the way you want it to. Robbie has not let it spiral out of control by any means. Inside, and Reynolds knocked off the plate a tad. 1-2. Jim Johnson, the closer for the Orioles, getting loose in that bullpen.
When you talk about a team that's won so many 1- and 2-run games, stands to reason that your closer would be getting a lot of work, and he has. He saved 37 ball games, made the All-Star team. Throws a hard, heavy sinker. Not a strikeout pitcher, but hard to get a good piece of it.
Well, it'd be a nice time for the Orioles to have that come to an end here tonight. 69 consecutive games when leading after 7 innings. And Reynolds going after the high heat without success. Robbie Ross back-to-back punch-outs. 2 away for Omar Quintanilla. And it will not be Omar Quintanilla. Instead of Robert Andino is going to come on as a pinch hitter, the right-handed hitter to face Ross. So Andino will stay in the ball game, take over at second base. He was the starting second baseman last night for the Orioles with Quintanilla playing short. And Ross fires a fastball strike on the outer edge. Andino, a .220 hitter, 5 home runs, 21 driven in. Chop foul, and Robbie Ross ahead of the count, 1-2. Ross back to the plate. count is even. Up the middle, Elvis behind the bag. Off balance throw right on the money. Nice play by Elvis Andrews. Couple of strikeouts and a nice defensive play. Orioles gone in order. Rangers have one more shot at the Baltimore's. Bottom of the ninth coming up. 5-3 Orioles. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer for the summer sales event and enjoy some of the greatest deals of the season. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Ninth inning has arrived. The bottom half of the Rangers coming about trailing 5-3. Rally shirts, rally hats, rally fans. In attendance here tonight, and Rangers trying to rally against one of the best bullpens in the American League, and the 33 save or 37 save closer, Jim Johnson. Giovanni Soto leading things off and takes ball one. Saw the numbers on Johnson, and Stom told you he's not a guy that blows people away, but he has a very, very good sinking fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Second in the American League to Fernando Rodney. Good breaking ball, and Soto now down in a 1-2 hole. Giovanni 1 for 3 tonight. One, though, a big 2-run home run in the 7th inning. Johnson back to the plate. 2-2. Chopper just fouled down the third base line. You go back to the 7th inning with a 1 on and 2 out. Giovanni Soto got a fastball down and in on a 2-0 count and ripped a line drive that got out of here in no time.
Nice swing by Giovanni right there.
Call strike 3 here. That fastball getting the outside corner. And Jim Johnson bringing up strikeout number 1.
Touched the outside corner with it.
That comeback fastball. So 1 away, and Mitch Moreland the number 9 man of the Ranger order, will step in there. Moreland 1 for 3 tonight as he looks at the first pitch that's outside. Jim Johnson, by the way, with those 37 saves now, has tied Greg Olson back in 1990 for the second highest total in Oriole history. Moreland fouls it away to the left, and it's 1-1. The O's leader is Randy Myers, who had 45 saves back in 97. One ball, one strike. And Moreland skies one to fairly deep right center field, but tonight that ball is not going anywhere as Adam Jones goes into the gap to make the catch. And the Rangers now down to their final out, but they have the top of the order coming up. And see if they can get a couple of people on and make some noise, maybe get Josh and Adrian to bat in this inning.
No, last time Josh was up, he was up with 2 men on, and he launched one about, who knows how far it went. Foul, just missed one. It was an off-speed pitch that stayed up and in. He pulled it a little too much.
And Ian, in that inning that Tom's talking about, had a very crucial 2-out walk. Drew that off of Darren O'Day in a very hard-earned walk, and that was followed by Elvis Andrews' single. Ian swings here, fouls away to the right, and the count is even at 1-1. Johnson to the wind, and the pitch is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. That Ranger bench, guys, cheering each other on. Kinsler, 2 out of 6 lifetime against Jim Johnson. One of those a home run. And that pitch outside. It's 3 balls and a strike. So Ian taking a lot of close pitches tonight and having them go his way as far as the call is concerned. Trying to keep this inning and this game alive for the Rangers. The 3-1 pitch. Chopper down the third baseline and just foul. Machado playing off the line, so, and that ball stayed fair. He would have had a tough time getting to it. That just veered off into foul territory. So Kinsler and Johnson have taken the count as far as they can. Payoff pitch. Popped him up. Machado, the third baseman, waiting for it to come down, makes the catch, and that will do it. Jim Johnson gets his 38th save. The Orioles win the second game of this series. They have now evened things up at 1 apiece, and there will be a rubber game tomorrow evening at Rangers Ballpark. The final again, the Orioles 5 and the Rangers 3. 5 runs on 8 hits for Baltimore, 3 runs on 7 hits for the Rangers. John Redigan and Mark McLemore back to wrap up this game for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.